Good evening, students. Now I am explaining to you SBI Clerks main examination question paper number 82. We have an easy paper today. We have 40 questions in this paper. So let us start. Question number 51. Let me read the instructions first. In this question, a sentence with 4 words in bold type is given. One of these 4 words given in bold may be either wrongly spelled or inappropriate in the context of the sentence. So we have a sentence. 4 words are bolded here. Among these 4 words, one word may be wrongly spelled or it may be inappropriate in the context. I am reading the first sentence. The factories are located on the outskirts of town and have 200 people working in shifts. Quite easy sentence. The first word itself is wrongly spelled. Factories. What is the spelling? F-A-C-T-O-R-I-E-S. Factories. So, spelling is wrong here. F-A-C-T-O-R-I-E-S. First word itself is located. Second one is correct. Outskirts. Third one is correct. Shifts. Fourth one is correct. So error is in the first word factorize wrong. It is F-A-C-T-O-R-I-E-S. So a quite easy word. You go to second one, question number 52. He is a good employee and any assignment given to him is done exceedingly well-being. So first bolded word employee, it is correct. Assignment A-S-S-I-G-N-M-E-N-T, correct. Exceedingly, adverb, correct. Well-being, there is an error. Well-being is actually a noun form. Exceedingly is adverb. After adverb, we don't use noun. So, exceedingly well is correct. Exceedingly well is correct. So, employee, okay. Assignment, okay. Exceedingly, okay. Well-being, wrong. So, error is 4. Next sentence. 53. The trust has agreed. The trust subject has agreed to sponsor her studies abroad. Her studies. Quite easy one. S-T-U-D-I-E-S. Studies. S-T-U-D-Y. It is wrong. So option 3. Next one, 54. Although all the customers were shouting, he remained calm and polite. All the customers. See the spelling here? Quite easy one. C-U-S-T-O-M. No need of double M here. Remained. Correct. Calm. Correct. Polite. Correct. So, error is in the first one, option 1. Next. Though they felt the idea was not practical, they agreed out of respect. Though they felt, okay. Verb, spelling is also correct. The idea, noun, correct? Practical. There is error. It is also a quite easy one. What is the spelling? Practical. C-A-L, not C-L-E. So, respect, again, it is correct. Error is in the third part, option 3, correct. Next, we have errors here, common error. I am reading the first sentence. Summers in the village were very difficult since there was often not electricity and the well would dry up. 4 parts are given here. Yes, I am reading again. Summers in the village were very difficult. The sentence is in past tense. This is a clause. Summers in the village were very difficult since there was often not electricity. What is electricity in grammar? Noun. Electricity, noun. Before a noun, what do you require? Adjective. Adjective. No. Not is an adverb in grammar. Not is an adverb. What is the adjective form? No, correct. No electricity. There was often no electricity. The well would dry up. So, not is replaced with no. There is error. Error is in the third part. Next sentence. People who could not pay. People subject. Who pronoun. Who could not pay the doctor's fees would sometimes leave a basket of fruits or eggs in front of the clinic. Quite easy to look at the error here. What is in front of? This is a phrase in English grammar. In front of is also used, but this of is missing here. In front the clinic is wrong. In front of the clinic correct. We have many phrases in grammar. On behalf of, instead of, in spite of, by dint of, like this, in front of. Error is in the fourth part. Next sentence. Though he was the wealthy of businessmen in town, though he was the wealthy, this is adjective, wealthy, wealthier, wealthiest of businessmen in town, he refused to donate any money to renovate the school or even to provide a loan. See, error is in the first part. What is the error here? He was the wealthy. He subject here. Here the subject he is compared with many businessmen in town. Many businessmen in town. When there is a clear rule in English grammar, when the comparison is among more than two, the adjective must be in superlative degree. What is the superlative form of wealthy? Wealthiest. Wealthiest is the right answer. So what is the answer now? Though he was the wealthiest of businessmen in town. Wealthiest, correct. Wealthy, positive degree. Wealthier, comparative degree. Wealthiest, superlative. Here what is given? Businessmen, plural. So there were many businessmen in the town. So here our subject he is compared with many businessmen in the town. So we use, So we use superlative degree, the wealthiest. Adjective in superlative degree always takes article, definite article, the. Okay, it is already given in the sentence. So error is in the first part. Next sentence. She works hard. So when you read a sentence in common error, try to identify the subject first. Here what is the subject? She. Works hard, works verb, hard adverb. She works hard for a few months with the money she earned. earned. This verb is second verb. It is in past tense. She bought some jewelry. Bought third verb. Here we have three clauses in this sentence. What is the first clause? She works hard for a few months. Second clause, she earned. Third clause, she bought. The other two clauses are in past tense. So, the first one should also be in past tense. What is the correction we make here? Verb should be simple past. Worked. She worked hard for a few months and with the money she earned, she bought some jewelry. Error is in the first part. Next sentence. We subject, need verb. We need honest and intelligent leaders. This is a clause. We need honest and intelligent leaders. Why? To show us the right path. This is a phrase, to show us the right path and ensure the country progress. Progress noun. Let us put a question. Whose progress? Whose, the question whose always denotes ownership. Then the noun should be with apostrophe S. Country apostrophe S. Country's progress. Progress noun. Of course, country is also noun. Here when we add apostrophe S, this noun is said to be in the possessive case. Possessive case. What does it denote? Ownership. Ownership. Prime Minister's decision. Whose decision? Prime Minister's decision. Collector's orders. Whose orders? Collector's orders. Like this here. Whose progress? Country's progress. Error is here. So, 4. Option 4. Next. Let's go to next question. 61. Here we have fill in the blanks. The park blank my house is in good condition. This is a clause. Try to identify the clauses and phrases while reading a sentence. The park blank my house. My house is also again noun. No? So here we require preposition. It is understood. The park blank my house is in good condition because of, it's not because, it is because of the blank efforts. What is efforts here? Noun. Before a noun, what do we require? Adjective. Adjective. So it is clearly understood. In the first blank, we require preposition. In the second blank, we require adjective. Let us see the options. The park next to my house. Next is adjective. Next always takes to. So it is not correct. Nearby my house. Okay. The park nearby my house. Okay. Hold it. Let us see again. Near. The park near my house. No. Park close. Close always takes to. Close to. Not correct. Behind my house. No. Not correct. Nearby. The park nearby my house is in good condition. Because of the blank efforts. What are the efforts here? Together efforts. Together is adverb. Together efforts not correct. Cooperative efforts. Correct no? Cooperative is adjective. Cooperation noun form. Cooperative adjective. Cooperative efforts of citizens and the municipality. Joint efforts, no, not correct. Joint efforts is not correct. United efforts, no, we cannot say. Both the efforts, no, we cannot say. See, sometimes behind is correct, but we have to see the second option also, no. Both is not correct here. So the correct answer is, I am reading with options. The park, give a pause. The park, give a pause and continue. The park nearby my house is in good condition because of the cooperative efforts of citizens and the municipality. Option 2 is correct. Next sentence. I send you the list again so that you can shortlist blank candidates. It is an interrogative sentence. Here the sentence ends in a question mark. It is an interrogative sentence. Here the main verb is base form. Send. Would I send? Okay. Must I send? Did I send? Should I send? Have I sent? Wrong, no? Have is a perfect form. Have, has, had or perfect forms in grammar. They always take past participle, third form. So here we have only base form, no? Have is not correct. So let us read the sentence again. Blank, I send you the list again so that you can shortlist blank candidates. Candidates is a noun form. Before a noun form, what do we require here? Adjective. It is understood in the first blank we require an auxiliary verb. I mean here 4 modal verbs are given. So it is in future sense, so did is not used. Did always refers to a past action. So you can shortlist refers to a future action. So here we require, let us see, would, no, must, no. What does would denote? Future emphatic action. What does must denote? Future compulsory action. What does should denote? Here the speaker expresses his intention. What is his intention? He wants to send the list so that the listener can shortlist candidates. So should correct. Should I send you the list again? Should I send you the list again? So it expresses the intention, the strong intention. Usually we use shall. Shall I send you? Shall I send you the list? But here we don't have that option. Of course, should is given. Should denotes strong intention of the speaker here. So the right answer is should. Should I send you the list again so that you can shortlist blank candidates? What type of candidates? Let us see the second option. Most candidates? No. Which candidates? No, meaningless. Worthy candidates, of course, can be. But did is not correct, no. Suitable candidates, right answer. So appropriate candidates also correct, but first blank is not right here. So the correct, I am reading with the option. Should I send you the list again so that you can shortlist suitable candidates? Option 4 is correct. Next, 63. Do not blank rituals blindly. Rituals is a noun form. It's a common noun. Rituals means usually we say formalities. Do not blank rituals blindly. What do we have in the beginning? Do. Do not. Do not, does not, did not. Do, does, did are auxiliary verbs in grammar. Auxiliary verbs. After these 3 auxiliary forms, we always use base form. Base form. So it is understood in the first blank we require base form. So do not, here we require base form. Rituals blindly. What is blindly? Adverb. Adverb. Think for yourself and understand the blank. The blank. What is the here? Article, no? After indefinite article, we require a noun here. Understand the blank behind customs and traditions. Now let us see the options. Do not offer rituals. No, not correct. Rituals are not offered. Do not question. No, not suitable. Do not worship. No. Rituals are not worshipped. Practice. It is in past tense. No, it is not at all correct. Do not follow. Right answer. Do not follow rituals blindly. Here the speaker tells the listener, don't follow rituals blindly. Think for yourself. Understand the blank. Let us see the second option. First one, knowledge. It's not knowledge. It is not effects. It's not thinking. It's not purpose. It is the reasons. The reasons. Understand the reasons behind customs. We don't say understand the knowledge behind customs. Understand the effects. Understand the thinking. Understand the purpose. Not correct. Understand the reasons behind customs. So I am reading with options. Do not follow rituals blindly. Think for yourself and understand the reasons behind customs and traditions. Next question. He is an officer in a bank. Okay, that is the first clause. And has blank. Has is a perfect form. After have, has, had perfect forms, what do we require? Past participle. Past participle means third form of the verb. So it is clearly understood. In the first blank, we require, in the first blank, we require past participle. He is an officer in a bank and has blank is a son, the value of blank money. Value of blank money. Let us see the options. He has show, wrong. We require past participle now. Taught, of course. Teach, taught, taught. It is past participle. Inculcated, good verb. Inculcate, inculcated, inculcated. Inculcate means, good word. Infuse. Infuse. Fix, we can say. Inculcate means infuse, fix. So you can also say instill. Instill is also correct. But it is not our answer here. Made. Has made. No, not correct. Has given. No, not correct. What is our suitable answer here? Taught. He is an officer in a bank and has taught his son. Taught his son. What has he taught? The value of borrowing money? No. Value of saving money. He is an officer in a bank and has taught his son the value of saving money. Making money? No. Lending money? Lend, lent, lend. Lend means give. Collecting money? No. Suitable answer here is second one. Okay. We go to next question. Venkat invests the money he earns blank. Here the clause ends. Venkat invests the money he earns. Earns verb. After verb, what do we require usually? Adverb. Venkat invests the money he earns and gets a regular income from blank investments. What is investments here? Noun. Before a noun, what do we require? Adjective. So it is understood. In the first blank, we require adverb. In the second blank, adjective. Let us see. Venkat invests the money he earns daily. Okay. Daily adverb. He earns daily. But often is adverb. In the second blank, we don't require often. We require adjective. No. Often is adverb. So first option is not correct. Second, Venkat invests the money he earns honestly. Of course, adverb. But what about second option? Each. Each investments wrong. Of course, each is adjective in grammar, but each, every. These two adjectives in grammar are called distributive adjectives. They always take singular noun, but here we have plural noun. So it is not correct. Extra, all, no. Intelligently, okay. Intelligently, adverb. But any investments? No, not correct. Any denotes indefinite? No. But here we talk about definite. How does he earn money? Wisely. He earns money, okay. How does he invest? Wisely. From these investments, correct. So the right, and I am reading with options. Venkat invests the money he earns wisely and gets a regular income from these investments. Option 5 is correct. Next sentence. Yes, we have reading comprehension here. First, let us see all the questions. First question is opposite meaning. Next question is direct question from the passage. Third question, direct question from the passage. Yes, direct question from the passage. It is also a direct question. Yes, it is about meaning. It's a direct question. Direct question from the passage. Yes, it is again meaning. It's a direct question. It is again meaning. Let us go back. So, see, it is a quite easy passage given. So, I have read the passage. It is quite easy. What is said here, I shall explain to you in brief. It is just like a Chandamama story, quite easy. See, there is a woman named Meena. She has an affectionate mother-in-law. Daughter-in-law Meena loves her mother-in-law very much. After some time, mother-in-law falls ill and dies. But the daughter-in-law Meena cannot forget her mother-in-law. So she makes a clay image of her mother-in-law. She talks to the image, imagining that she is still alive. Every day, all the time, she spends sitting before the image, clay image of mother-in-law, and she talks something with the image. After some days, the neighbors are envious of Meena. They say something to her husband against Meena. So he believes the neighbor's words. One day he is enraged. He is angry with Meena and he asks her to leave the house. Meena takes the clay image of mother-in-law and goes into a forest. She climbs, afraid of the wild animals. She climbs up a tree there. After some time, what happens? Some thieves come over there. They sit under the tree. They try to share their stolen things, jewelry, gold, etc. All of a sudden, the clay image of mother-in-law falls down from the hands of Meena, and the thieves are afraid of, and they run away, leaving all the gold things there. So Meena comes down and gathers the pieces of that broken clay image, and she comes home. So actually, she thinks that she has gathered the broken pieces of clay image, but she has gathered the stolen things left over by the thieves. So she comes home with gold coins, money, etc. In the meantime, her husband realizes his mistake and he excuses his wife. They both live together happily. But her mother is her husband is quite happy. They want to measure the gold coins. Meena goes to neighbor's house and asks them to give a vessel to measure the gold coins. The neighboring woman, who is envious of Meena, gives a vessel by sticking some tamarind the bottom of the vessel. Meena does not know this. Meena and her husband measure the gold coins with that vessel. After that, one of the gold coins is stuck to the tamarind, and the neighboring woman understands something has happened. So she asks Meena what has happened. Meena narrates everything to the neighboring woman. The greedy neighboring woman, along with her husband, goes to forest. She does what Meena has earlier done. The thieves come. Same, the neighboring woman also drops the clay image. They are afraid of. They run away. But this time, the thieves want to see what is happening. They find the couple. They tie them to a tree. They are punished. So it is quite easy. Now let us see the questions. First question. Opposite meaning to the word comfort. Comfort. Opposite meaning. Comfort means convenient, facility. Excitement. Not correct. Excitement means enthusiasm. Enthusiasm. It's a good word. Excitement means enthusiasm. Tight. Not correct. Sympathy. Sympathy means condolence. Condolence. Pity. Pity. Depress. Disappointment. Poverty is right word. Opposite word. Poverty means adversity. Adversity. So poverty. This is the right answer. Fifth one is opposite word. Next question. It's a direct question. Why was Meena's husband glad on her return? So without seeing the options, you can see. I have explained to you the story. Why was Meena's husband glad on her return? Because he has realized it is a mistake. And he was thrilled because the wealth she had brought? No. Neighbor had counseled? No. He was unable to look after himself? No. He regretted losing his temper. Regretted means felt sorry. Right answer. Could not bear the negative. So option 4 is correct. Next question. Why did Meena take the clay image of her mother-in-law when she left her husband's house? Why did she take the clay image with her when she left the house? Mother-in-law refused to leave? No. She was very attached to her mother-in-law. Right answer. So, next one. I'm sorry. Yes, third option. She believed that her mother-in-law's spirit? No. Fourth one, to show her husband that she had her mother-in-law's blessings. No. She thought her husband would vent his anger. Vent means lose, release. No. Where is the answer? She was very attached to her mother-in-law. That's why she took the clay image when she left the house. Next one is, which of the following describe the thieves? How are the thieves? They were cowardly, could not stand up? No. They learnt from past experiences? No. I'm sorry. They were strong and frightening in appearance. See, dear students, here we have a good word here, burly. Burly mouse-stecked men. Burly mouse-stecked men. How are the thieves? They were strong. They were well-built persons. That is right answer. They were strong and frightening in appearance. Thieves were burly. Burly adjective here. Burly means strong, large, well-built body. Mouse-stecked men. So option C is correct. Only C. Next, again, it's a meaning. Same meaning, mischief. Mischief means committing a crime, no? Committing a mistake, committing a crime. We require same word. See, joke, not correct. Harm, harm means danger. Naughty, no. Naughty means rude. Criminal, right answer. Laughter, wrong. Criminal, right answer. Next question, it's a direct question. Which of the following is true? Which of the following is true? Let us read. Meena's husband was cruel? No, he is not cruel. Meena was dutiful daughter-in-law. Meena was a dutiful daughter-in-law who respected her husband, mother-in-law. Correct? No, it is true. Third, Meena's neighbors were good. No, not correct. Meena's neighbors were not good. Meena's mother-in-law possessed magical powers. No. All given statements are true. No. Only second one. Meena was a dutiful daughter-in-law who respected her husband and mother-in-law. Option 2 is correct. Next question. Why did neighbor stick a piece of tamarind in the measuring vessel? The neighboring woman gives the measuring vessel. How does she give? By sticking a piece of tamarind. Why? Let us see. She wanted to steal the precious stones? No. She was jealous of Meena. Wanted to ruin the dish? No. The vessel had a hole? No. To spy on her. Spy. Spy means knowing the things secretly. To spy on her, learn the true reason for borrowing the vessel. Right answer, no. Other than those given, no. Option 4 is correct. Next. Meaning. What are we asked here? Same meaning of seriously. Seriously. Let us see option. Severely, no. Severely means strictly. Badly, no. Genuinely, correct. Seriously means genuinely. Urgently, no. Alarmingly, not correct. Alarmingly here means worrying, not correct. Option 3, genuinely, right answer. Next question. It's a direct question. How did Meena and her husband become wealthy? How did they become wealthy? How did they become wealthy? Let us see the first option. Meena stumbled onto stolen goods. Stumble onto. Phrasal verb. Stumble onto means find something unexpectedly. Unexpectedly. Find something unexpectedly. So stumble onto. Phrasal verb. Let us see. First option. Meena stumbled onto stolen goods which were deserted by some thieves. Meena's mother-in-law had led Meena. No. They had hatched a plan to quarrel. No. Thieves wanted freedom from Meena. No. Not clearly mentioned. It is clearly mentioned. No. All of a sudden, Meena got some stolen property left by the thieves. Option 1 is correct. Next one, we are asked meaning. Opposite word to brilliant. Brilliant means intellectual, no? We are asked opposite. Intelligent, it is synonym. Gladly, gladly means happily. Not correct. Foolish is right answer. Brilliant, opposite word, foolish. Uneducated, not correct. Dull, not correct. Right answer is foolish. Next, we have rearrangement of sentences here. We are given 6 sentences. First, let us see. In order to find out the correct order, we have to identify the first word of each line. The tortoise, noun. The fox, noun. The leopard, noun. The leopard, noun. The tortoise and the fox. This is called a phrase. What is a phrase in English grammar? Phrase is a group of words. When a group of words is given, it is considered a phrase with preposition. So among these 6 sentences, sentence E begins with a phrase. So this sentence can be considered the first sentence. Let us see the meaning. The tortoise and the fox, who were good friends, were chatting one day. This is the beginning of this sentence. This is called introductory line. Introductory line. What happens first here? The tortoise and the fox are good friends. One day they are in a chat. E can be considered the first sentence. Okay. Next. A leopard. A leopard. It's a common noun with indefinite article. A leopard suddenly arrived on the scene. Fox fled in panic. Panic means fear. Fear. So, what were these two doing? They were chatting. Tortoise and fox were chatting. What happened all of a sudden? All of a sudden what happened? Leopard arrived. So fox fled, escaped in fear. This can be considered second sentence. What happened next? What happened next? With the one lip, tortoise could not move. Yes. Fox escaped. But what about tortoise? Could not move fast enough to escape or hide. Easy. Can be considered third sentence. Fox could flee easily, but tortoise could not move fast. Third sentence. Next, what happened? Yes, B. The fox, seeing this, approached the leopard. Just throw him into the water. The shell will soften in a few minutes. So, the fox advised the leopard, just throw him into the water and the shell will soften. It is not with, it is will. Will soften in a few minutes. Shell means the upper part of the tortoise. So, it can be considered fourth sentence. So, next. The leopard threw the tortoise into the pond and off swam the tortoise. Fifth. So, on the advice of the fox, leopard threw the tortoise into the pond and immediately tortoise swam into water. Next, with one leap, leap means jump, the leopard grabbed him, but when he settled under a tree to make a meal on him, he could not penetrate the hard shell. Yes, tortoise shells is very strong. Once a tortoise get into its shell, it is very difficult to break that shell. Penetrate means make into pieces. It cannot make it into pieces. So what is the order here? First sentence is E. Second sentence is C. Third sentence is A. Fourth sentence is B. Fifth sentence is D. Last sentence is F. Okay? Quite easy. So, now we have last 10 questions are cloze test. It's quite easy. There were once three brothers who set out with their poor cousin. Set out, phrasal verb. Set out means start. There were three brothers. Those three brothers started with their poor cousin. So these three brothers and one cousin to earn a living, full stop. They started in search of living. On the way, they asked their cousin to buy milk, rice, sugar and spices. So on the way, what happened? These three brothers asked their cousin to buy milk, rice, sugar and spices and blank a good kheer. Blank. So let us see the options. One, see the passage is in past tense. There were, how is the verb in the beginning? Were. Set out. It is in past tense, no? Almost all the verbs are in past tense. Here in this blank, we require a past verb. Let us see. Want, present verb. Make, present verb. Baking, present participle. Preparing, present participle. Quite easy to find out the option mixed. We have only one past form here. So they asked their cousin to buy milk, sugar, rice and spices and mixed a good kheer. Now they had no intention of letting him have the kheer. These three brothers were cruel, not fair-minded. So they intended, they had a bad intention. What was it? Letting him have, no intention of letting him have the kheer. That means the three brothers did not want their cousin to have kheer. So letting him have the kheer. Blank, they said. Why they said no? I'm sorry. Why they said no? Which they said no? Then they said no. That they said no. So they said. So here it's not conjunction. So they said. That means like this. They said like this. What did they say? The man who has the best dream of all of us the man, all of us, will blank the kheer. Will blank. What do we have before the blank? Will, modal verb. We have a clear rule. No? After a modal verb, we always require base form. Will sell, no. They will not sell kheer. Got, past form. Share, okay. Chew, no. Kheer is not chewed. Eat, okay, right. Right. Eat, correct. Eat the kheer. So, what was their intention? Those who get the best dream will eat the kheer. They agreed and fell asleep. But the cousin knew them well. The cousin knew that the four were cruel. He blank. They would trick. Again here, he subject, no, blank. We require verb here. We require past verb, no, realized, knows present tense, understand present tense, aware, feels. Only one past verb is given here, realized, right answer. He realized they would trick him. Realized here means understood. He understood that the three brothers would trick him. So realized, correct. Next. So he quietly emptied the cauldron of kheer and hid blank. Hid verb. Hide, hid. Hid blank. It, correct. Hid it. What is it here? Pronoun, no? It is used in the place of the noun cauldron of kheer. Hid it. Cauldron means a vessel like where that sweet is kept. So cauldron. It, correct. Himself wrong. Them wrong. From, no. Away. Not correct. It. Hid it. So he hid the cauldron. And in the morning, the three brothers awoke and began telling blank other their dreams, telling one another some other wrong, all other wrong, every other wrong, each other wrong. One, see here, one mistake here. It is not other, it is another. One another. We have good usage in English grammar, no? In grammar, it is called reciprocal pronoun. We have two reciprocal pronouns in English grammar. Each other, one another. Both make same meaning. Each other refers to only two. One another refers to more than two. How many are here? 4. 3 brothers and 1 cousin. 4. One another, correct. Option 1. Next. One another, their dreams. Oh brothers, I dreamed that I reached the king's palace blank. King's palace. It was magnificent. King's palace, though, saw and correct. What did he say? I reached the king's palace and it was magnificent. Here we require conjunction. Still wrong, much wrong. And it was magnificent, said the eldest. Next. The second said, I went to the court and blank the prime minister. Again, he went to the court and elected, no. Contact, no. Approach, present tense, no. No. Dealt, no. I'm sorry. Met, right answer. What was the second one's dream? He went to the court and met the prime minister. Next. The youngest said, I went to court and was introduced to the king. They blanked their cousin. So the 3 brothers told their dreams. After that, what did they do? They blanked their cousin awake. Cousin was sleeping, still sleeping. Finding force, suddenly shook. Shake, shook, shaken. So they tried to awake the cousin. Shook. Hearing wrong. Shook, correct. And shook the cousin awake. Don't bother me. Don't bother me. Last night, a thief came to blank us. Came to. After to, what do we require? Base form of the verb, no. To warn us, no. To rob us. Rob, robbed. Web. To rob us. To steal us. Steal also, of course, makes a meaning. But usually, things are stolen. To refer to things, we use the verb steal. Steal, stole, stolen. But to refer to a person, rob. Rob, robbed. Robbery, we say. Robber. Robbed. This is weak verb. This is strong verb. Strong verb refers to non-living things. Fraud, kill. Right answer is rob. This is right answer. Okay. So this is today's question paper, students. Please go through it once again. We shall meet again tomorrow.